War involves in its progress such a train of unforeseen circumstances that no human wisdom can calculate the end. It has but one thing certain, and that is to increase taxes. Is it not a species of blasphemy to call the New Testament revealed religion, when we see in it such contradictions and absurdities? He who is the author of a war lets loose the whole contagion of hell and opens a vein that bleeds a nation to death. I believe in the equality of man, and I believe that religious duties consist in doing justice, loving mercy, and endeavoring to make our fellow creatures happy. There are matters in the Bible, said to be done by the express commandment of God, that are shocking to humanity and to every idea we have of moral justice. Virtues are acquired through endeavor, which rests wholly upon yourself. So, to praise others for their virtues can but encourage one's own efforts. A thing moderately good is not so good as it ought to be. Moderation in temper is always a virtue, but moderation in principle is always a vice. The instant formal government is abolished, society begins to act. A general association takes place, and common interest produces common security. To say that any people are not fit for freedom, is to make poverty their choice, and to say they had rather be loaded with taxes than not. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but he whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves his conduct, will pursue his principles unto death. It is necessary to the happiness of man that he be mentally faithful to himself. Infidelity does not consist in believing, or in disbelieving, it consists in professing to believe what he does not believe. The whole religious complexion of the modern world is due to the absence from Jerusalem of a lunatic asylum. Those who want to reap the benefits of this great nation must bear the fatigue of supporting it. Society in every state is a blessing, but government, even in its best stage, is but a necessary evil, in its worst state an intolerable one. Arms discourage and keep the invader and plunderer in awe, and preserve order in the world as well as property. Horrid mischief would ensue were the law-abiding deprived of the use of them. It is not a field of a few acres of ground, but a cause, that we are defending, and whether we defeat the enemy in one battle, or by degrees, the consequences will be the same. All national institutions of churches, whether Jewish, Christian or Turkish, appear to me no other than human inventions, set up to terrify and enslave mankind, and monopolize power and profit. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. To argue with a man who has renounced the use and authority of reason, and whose philosophy consists in holding humanity in contempt, is like administering medicine to the dead, or endeavoring to convert an atheist by scripture. He that would make his own liberty secure, must guard even his enemy from oppression, for if he violates this duty, he establishes a precedent that will reach to himself.